Hi, friends. It's Reverend Laurie Gist with Unity of Ocala on this chilly but getting warmer day, Wednesday, for our Wednesday Love Notes. It is the second day in February, so it is officially 2/2/22. That's got to be worth something. We should all go buy a lottery ticket, right? Anyways, I'm reviewing some of the wonderful things we've got coming up. We've got a very active and exciting new year planned. We've got chaplain training coming up at the end of this month. If you are a returning chaplain, I hope you can make all of the events and the training at Unity of Citrus. You probably have the flyer by now. And if you are a member of Unity of Ocala and are interested in taking these classes, give me a call or go over the brochure. You're certainly welcome to visit the training on that first day and see if it's something that you would be interested in. We've got some new chaplains training this year from our Unity of Ocala, and they will be joining the group at Unity of Citrus for 3 days of training and wonderful bonding with fellow chaplains from all around. So that's exciting. We also are coordinating with my dear friend, Reverend Marcia McCartney and Gary, licensed teacher Gary Ammerman. They're going to be coming to our church from time to time, helping with different things. Gary is teaching some online classes. You can find out more about those by going to either our website, unityocala.org, or unityofcitrus.org, and find out about how to participate in those fun online courses. We are going to have him later on in the spring to do some more intensive classes, specifically for those of you wanting to be licensed teachers and maybe possibly even ministers. We are looking at credited courses. I will be facilitating Keep a True Lent, which is something I love to do every year. It will be starting on the Sunday, but on the Wednesday before Ash Wednesday, which is February 24th. Our class will be from 12:30 to 2:30 every Wednesday leading up through Easter. So order your Keep a True Lent book from Amazon or wherever you would like. We may have a few in our bookstore. I know Unity of Citrus has a few in their bookstore. But you can also read it online. Charles Fillmore, of course, never copyrighted any of his material because he said it came from God. So it is available to all. Keep a True Lent. We're going to go over more about that on the 24th. And we're going to continue our conversations after Sunday, after each service on Sunday, where we go in a little deeper into Unity teachings, metaphysics, biblical interpretation, and all of those juicy, fun conversation points that we like to talk about in Unity. Starting the second Sunday in February, we will be having as our conversations Unity Basics, which covers all of that and then some. It's an opportunity for you to ask anything you would like to know, but we will go through a little bit of the chronology about how Unity was started and how it has evolved and progressed over the years and where we're going. This is especially important if you would like to become a member of Unity. Of course, it's not required, and we would never ask you to ever sever ties with your previous spiritual community. As a matter of fact, we encourage you to continue going. But we do like to encourage people, if they're vested in the church and would like to be part of the decision making, to take these courses, these Unity Basic courses, and become a member that can vote for the things going on in our church, such as board members, budgets, new buildings, if that is the case, and all of those wonderful earthly things that we are good stewards of in our community. So join us for those discussions. I want to read, last week I started some metaphysical interpretation. Well, not actually metaphysical interpretation. These are just interpretations of the Aramaic language and the nuances and the idioms that are used today in that language and certainly in ancient times. But it better helps us understand what these scriptures are saying. And we took a look at some of the words in Genesis, and I want to continue those in Genesis because when we come back together, we're going to do some diving into the book of Genesis, the story of stories, there's two, of creation and what that means spiritually and what's going on in us still as the creation continues. So here's a few more of those idioms that will help you understand Genesis in your own mind and heart. Genesis 9:13, it is said, I set my bow in the clouds. That is a rainbow in the sky, and it is filled with possibilities. And it also signifies that the bad times are behind us, the challenges are behind us. We gleaned from that all the prism of colors of knowledge and understanding that we are to learn going forward with the rainbow over us. That's why it's so wonderful to see a rainbow. That's why everybody that I know, even the toughest of guys, stop and admire a rainbow. There's something magical and mystical in a rainbow. Have you ever seen a double one? Oh my goodness, I got a picture of a triple one. I have lifted up my hands, Genesis 14. That is taking a solemn oath. Thy seed, that's throughout the Bible, that's offspring. And this can be not so much a physical offspring, it can be the offspring of an idea, the beginning of a new direction, a legacy that you are leaving in some form. Angels. Angels always signify God's counsel, God's thoughts, God's highest thoughts. You know, James Dillett Freeman, the poet laureate, dear student of Unity for many, many, many decades. He actually worked for the Fillmores and ran Silent Unity, and he was the kindest, gentlest spirit, and he wrote wonderful poetry. And he would often tell his students, I have to keep a notebook in my jacket pocket and a pencil, because those angels fly in and sing the greatest poetry, and then they're gone. And if I don't write it down, I miss the message. So listen for those angels singing in your heart. Looking behind is a sign of regretting, wasting time. A pillar of salt, lifeless. Do you ever turn into a pillar of salt? That's going to be fun to meditate on, isn't it? As the stars in heaven, many, 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 went in at the gate, mature men and women who sit at the council. So if you're entering the gate, you better do so with some wisdom. Hand under thigh, hand under girdle, a solemn oath. I think this is particularly profound when we read, which we'll be reading about, that Last Supper, and how Jesus took his cloth and tied it tightly around his groin and then washed the disciples' feet. He set out with a motion of a solid oath to them, and then started washing their feet. Oh, Keep a True Lent is filled with metaphysical interpretation. It's a beautiful process. Tender-eyed, attractive. He hath sold us. He has devoured our dowry. Wrestling with an angel, being suspicious. Are you wrestling with an angel? I do that sometimes. The coat of many colors. Remember Joseph's coat of many colors? A coat with long sleeves, meaning learning, honor, and a high position. No man shall lift up his hand or foot. No man shall do anything without God's approval. Put his hand upon thine eyes, closing the eyes. This was done at the time of death, but it also is highly significant for closing your eyes to certain things, which could be good or bad, no judgment here, just closing your eyes, which the eyes signify deeper than just eyesight, but inner knowing and understanding. So closing of the eye, you can see where that leads. The laying on of hands, blessing another person. His right hand upon the head, a sincere blessing. You see rabbis and their new students, they place a drop of honey on the student's tongue to signify that learning is so sweet. And then they touch that head with their right hand as a sign of honor, a blessing, and approval. Unstable as water, undecided, in a dilemma. Washed his garments in wine. He will become the owner of many vineyards. And then the vineyards mean prosperity and joy and fruitfulness and generosity. That means quite a few things. His teeth white with milk. He will have abundant flocks. His bow abode in strength. He will become valiant, a warrior. The stone of Israel, the strong race of Israel. And he gathered up his feet. He stretched out his feet. He breathed his last breath, and he died. Stretching out of feet is meaning walking on to something else. Isn't that fabulous? I want to leave our time in this Wednesday Love Notes with a little peek into Charles Fillmore's Keep a True Lent. It's so filled with such deep understanding. Every year that I read this book, every year that I meditate and do the lessons and practice the disciplines, I learn something new. And I'll go back through my journals and I'll think, oh, I forgot I even wrote that down. Charles writes, Lent is a season of spiritual growth, a time for progressive unfoldment. When we can blend and merge our mind with God mind, the way is open for the Lord to glorify and to lift us into a higher, more spiritual state. Where 2 or 3 are gathered together, in my name, there I am in the midst. And you will feel that beautiful buzz as we join together for these rituals, these readings, these meditations, and these blessings. Unity students everywhere are invited to participate yearly in our Lenten program. Christ is in our midst. As the God of our planet, as the one great teacher, place all burdens here and enter the Lenten season expecting definite results. Fasting means abstaining from. It doesn't have to be food, but it's nice to. I like to go vegan and kosher during these 40 days. I'm going to see how long that lasts. I'm going to be really good this year because I need to do a full body cleansing. I just joined a gym for the first time and I don't even want to mention how many years. Can't wait to tell you all about that. It's been interesting. So think about what you want to abstain from. The 40-day fast is an all-around denial of sense demands. In fasting, we as metaphysicians abstain from error thinking. We meditate on spiritual truth until we incorporate it into the consciousness. The desire to excel is in all mankind. It is the inspiration of the Holy Spirit, which ever urges us on through earth toward heaven. It should be encouraged and cultivated daily in the right direction. As day after day, we steadily adhere to our firm resolve to follow the steps outlined for the Lenten season, we discover that we are building on a firm foundation and are mounting into a higher consciousness. We come to know that Christ is indeed with us and is resurrecting in us his realizations of life, light, and substance. Lent is simply loosing every negative thought. Lent, letting go of negative thinking. And an affirmation from Charles himself: in the spirit of divine love, forgetting the things that are behind, I realize I am strong, positive, powerful, wise, loving, fearless, free spirit. I am God's perfect child, and so are you. I love you. God loves you. We'll be recording Sunday's service live on Facebook and YouTube, or you can watch it anytime you would like. And hopefully we're going to check in with the CDC and Unity headquarters and see if we can gather again. I'm ready to come back together. We'll see what they say. So join us on Sunday. You have a beautiful day, a beautiful week, and do something really splendid for someone else as we prepare for the Lenten season. Love you guys. Take care. See you soon.